So then we are back with more understandings from the time of the Second Tabernacle services, where we find the Aramaic English translation of the word. This translation comes from the original manuscripts of the prophets of the Israelic lineage, so then we can understand the time of the end. As per Yeshayahu the prophet, we find layers of understanding of the spring feast, the autumn feast, and also the returning of the cities of the Messiah laid waste for many centuries. As we read then Yeshayahu the prophet, we always ask then why Israel has destroyed its own prophets. And today then we are reading the prophecies of these great individuals that were very helpful in terms of explaining then the holy instructions and then the prophecies thereof. And then came out today on Reuters, very famous British newspaper via online, that China is done it again. They are using the technology of the wearables, or then it's kind of a wristwatch but with the capability of computer, and then obviously making purchases and payments. So then it was explained before then in Spain, in Barcelona, in the earlier period of the last month of March, then there was a gathering regarding then mobile industry, and then it was explained that the objective of these obviously would become linked up with the trade during this time of the restoration period. And China has done it again, and then not only this, but then linking up with personal telephones and computers, and then via online we can also understand these wearables, making purchases, and obviously also investments, because the third icon is coming, and as a system by itself, a person can use the same line and then make purchases and sending money and then investing. And then obviously those nations who are linked with China when with the system, they can understand how it would become easier then to make purchases and investments using what we used to know then as a regular wristwatch. So the technology is truly amazing these days, and as we read then from the instructions, as nations then are preparing themselves for the regulation of the virtual monetary systems, because the system can't be launched until then Great Britain is doing a very diligent work as far as the legalization, or should say the regulating of the Bitcoin. It's a monetary system, and then as we understand these Bitcoin being regulated in the other virtual monetary systems, then obviously they can be treated as the same as Bitcoin. So then at this point in time we are waiting for the election in Great Britain. It's going to be in the early period of May, and then from then on is obviously waiting for these monetary systems to be regulated, and then waiting for China also come up with the documents of the lease, or then leasing, so the United States can adopt and then make their own ways and their own percentages of gains based from a very basic system of China, or then the Dragonic period. So then, as far as we can read, these wearables are becoming very popular. But then, as we were explaining earlier, there is not yet a capability of adjusting the wearables with what country the person is receiving the signal from. So truly it's a big problem, because as then the systems are being regulated, then you can understand when a person travels around then receiving the signal from a certain country, making payments and receiving, and mostly important, investing, then how are they going to charge taxes then from a signal that there is not have a particular card regulating the amounts or then the percentages? So next time we're going to evaluate more of these. Please stay tuned, much more coming up.